Oh, hello. My name is Brigitte Paneth. I was born actually in Germany, and my name that I was born was Brigitte Paneth. I lived in Germany from 1932, and I went through the horrible experience of Kristelnacht. My parents had a menswear shop in one of the main streets in Berlin. And my father and my late brother used to go every morning to shul. And they went to shul that morning on the date of the Kristallnacht. And they went to shul and they came home absolutely flabbergasted, and they were really very, very frightened. Apparently what had happened on the way, they saw many shuls when they were coming home from shul themselves. Their shul hadn't been touched yet, but the other shuls that they saw were on fire. And one of the shuls that on their way home, my father ran quickly with my brother. He could still get into the shul, and they rescued one Sefer Torah, which we brought with us to Australia, and it is still here. It is actually, the Sefer Torah is in Mizrahi. And just by the way, every year my husband and I would go, and the children would go away for the school holidays, and we would have a minyan in our house, and we took the Sefer Torah with us, so we had a minyan every day. Anyway, coming back to my experiences, my life in Berlin, of what I remember, because I was really all of about 5 or 6, and was very good. Nothing sort of bothered us, and nothing worried us, and but when this started to happen, we were, my parents were very, very frightened, and we were very fortunate also to have upstairs. We lived behind the shop. Our dwelling was behind the shop, and upstairs was a young German policeman. On the night of November the 9th, 1938, he told my father that he should sort out in the shop the clothes that he was selling, of not the expensive one. The expensive ones he should put. We lived behind the shop, and he should bed those suits into the beds and leave just the not expensive ones. And he told my parents that we should all go across the road upstairs. There lived another Jewish family, and they said that we should go up there and hide out, and we could look what's going on. And we could look down, because I think this was on the 2nd floor, and we could look down what the looters did to the shop. They broke in, they broke the glass, they threw the suits out, and they did a hell of a lot of damage. But as we were very fortunate with this policeman, he stood in the doorway of the shop and our dwelling. We lived in the back of the shop, and he would not let anybody into our dwelling. And after the Kristallnacht, he came down to my parents, and he said to my father, if you think that this was horrible, you've got no idea what's in store. I suggest you just get out of Germany immediately. Well, needless to say, it was quite a shock for my father, but fortunately my father had an auntie living in Australia, of all places. And he was in touch with them, my auntie and my father's auntie and uncle, and apparently he must have written to them if they could get passport or papers that could help us get out of the country and get to another country where we will be safe. So we were actually very lucky soon after that my parents had put together in small suitcases, just that we could carry, nothing that that was too heavy for us to take, and we would leave our dwelling, we would leave the shop, and we would go to another port to catch a boat that was crossing over to the other side and was coming over from Germany to Australia. So we were very, very fortunate to have this wonderful young German policeman who kept us sort of safe all through the time. And we tried after the war to get hold of him, to try to see if we could find him. We wanted to thank him very much, but we couldn't.